Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Jason.
Good.
Woot woot. So we are. I believe we're live now. Are we live?
Oh,
Yeah, I think we are. Woo! Hey,
I'm gonna post
what's up?
Discord on
Yeah,
Twitter.
Robonex. I'm that robot that does the punches. Knockout robot.
I used to have that game.
Yeah, the one that you press down a bunch of times and.
Rock'em sock'em, rock'em sock'em. That's what it was. Rock'em sock'em robots.
Feeling
How was
good.
it?
Yes, I'm feeling great myself. I just got done listening to a lot of music, enjoying life. AI Zaku Gaming, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for that. Welcome, you guys. We're gonna be I'm gonna be going over what we're gonna be doing on the stream today. It's gonna be pretty cool. Uplifted Kid, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you guys. Welcome here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, of course, of course. Jason is just checking out this place. This is his first time here, just
really
with the
cool.
rest of
Yeah,
you guys. I actually just built this out a couple of days ago. So all this space that we have here, let me just go on smooth POV, and then you got some chicken there.
I'm hungry too. I haven't had dinner yet today, so this is great. Appreciate you feeding the guests.
Yep. Delicious. Here, let me have some chicken too.
Yeah.
Gotta have that protein, man. Yum. That digital protein.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
cool.
a weight. Yeah,
It's
is it heavy? Yeah, it is heavy.
That's right. It is.
There we go.
You got it. Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's with that special metal.
The titanium.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was. Also, Tatsu, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you. Very kind of you guys. And yes, that is an important question. We do love cheese. I would say so, yeah. Do you love cheese?
Gotta have my cheese.
Always. No vegans around here.
The question is, what type of cheese?
I like Gouda.
Yeah, I
or
like Gouda
mozzarella.
too.
Or cheddar. Any of the ones will do.
I just discovered bacon cheddar.
Bacon cheddar.
Bacon cheddar. It's like cheddar with little bacon bits in it. It's really good.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, jeez. Also, Rob, thank you for the follow too. So, for today's stream, you guys, do you have your actors coming inside, right?
I'm looking for them. They, actors are not always perfectly reliable, but they will be here. I'm sure they'll be here.
Oh, they're
but,
fine.
Sometimes they run a little bit late.
Even if they wouldn't be, it's all good.
Yeah.
Minger, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome. Nice to have you guys here. This is going to be a pretty special stream today, you guys. We're going to be interviewing Jason here, who is one of the makers of a project called the Metamovie project. And I'm super excited to basically do our first ever Neos interview. This is a first here, and hopefully many more to come. And hopefully this can be like a monthly sort of thing where we can interview specific people here inside of the Neos community that have, really brought something amazing and substantial to where we feel is like deserving of an interview and actually getting to know the person, talk with them. And, there's so many amazing minds here inside of Neos, and we want to be able to show that off on the stream today. So, and yes, Metamovie, let's go. Also, Puppet to the sound, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to this awesome Neo stream today. It's going to be a very special one. And that's why I set up this whole entire table today, even with the Audio Technica microphones that we got here. Don't really need them,
Super
but,
cool.
it's decor.
They look good. Yeah.
Oh, are you
Look at that.
bringing these in? Oh, perfect. Yeah, we can have that right here.
Awesome.
I'll put that right there. There we go. It's actually the poster for the Alien Rescue, which is a Metamovie project that has been in development. and we'll be getting into discussing that right when we get a lot more people inside of here, and people can actually like watch the interview. So we'll probably start in about like 5 minutes or so. And let me send Aegis an invite too. I'm sure he wants to join with us. Yes, sounds pretty litty. Yes, it's gonna be dope. And Divan says subjectivity here, running 5 minutes late. Well, cool. You got 5 minutes to be here.
That's Nicole. That's Nicole.
Cool.
There's Ken.
Yeah, as the kids say. I don't know. That's usually like a common thing now. I mean, it's 2021. What do you expect? And I am thankful to be alive during this time. What a time to be alive. Sky's the limit. Yeah. I mean, then past that is just the whole universe, so... And that is apparently limitless, so we should keep on going. Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, sure, it could be that too. I mean, my table is as messy as his place, so
I
that's
like the
good.
table a lot, though.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
We gotta make sure he's good. Oh, that was a little bit too close. Subjectivity, you.
Nicole's
Welcome.
here.
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, here you are.
Hey,
Yep, I'm coming. I'm just getting. I'm just loading in. Hey,
you've
what's
been
up?
discovered. Hey, what's up?
I'm here. Hey.
The sky, you know.
What's
What's
doing?
up?
But we've already
up?
established that that's not a limit, so we should be good. Hey, Frooks.
This is
Welcome.
Neos. There's
Oh.
no limit with the sky.
Yeah. except when you reach that floating point error, then it's then you reach then you reach that limit.
Yeah, that's a different limit.
Yeah. In reality, it's just
So
you run out of
realize-
oxygen.
I didn't realize you had an open carry permit is okay in here because she's carrying her gun. Is that going to be a problem?
Oh yeah, guns are fine here. We support guns.
Okay.
Second Amendment or something
All right.
like that.
Or something like that. My eyes
What's
okay?
up?
I didn't get a chance
Guys are
to
great.
check.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Give me a blink.
Cool.
Let me see.
All right.
Give me a blink. Yeah. Look good.
Cool.
And,
All right. Yeah, I was.
we've got-
I was
Oh,
gonna run
are
late,
you showing off that eye tracking? Here, let me get a zoom in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Eye closing.
Yeah. They're gonna make him a little. Ultranick's
I
gonna
actually
make the
know-
eyes a little bigger, right? So.
Yeah, I've got your new one here. Actually, if you want
Ooh.
to jump into her, let me see if
Yeah,
I can
sure.
find it. Current health system.
Very cool.
Let me see.
So anyone who's watching here with us right now, as we're getting this interview started, just be aware that any questions will be
is this the
answered
new-
after
Yeah.
the
that's
interview.
The new one.
All right. That's
So
you
just
pick
keep
one.
that in mind if you have any questions that will be, after we're done with our 21 questions that we have for Jason and him kind of like discussing and going over it for probably the next hour or so. After that, we'll have like a little Q&A for Jason. Then you guys can ask him questions after the interview. And it looks like we're getting quite a bit of people.
Here comes Ken.
Let's get the people.
This way, buddy.
Put an arrow on the wall, Fruits. Wait into the
There we
door.
go.
Awesome. I mean, it's a big space, so it's easy to get lost, right?
Well, I was going to stand at the door and just show people where to go. Well, Fruits has sort of eliminated my use now.
Yep. Try to get into optimized avatars if you can as well,
brush.
because
Oh,
it
okay.
is running a little bit low for
So
me.
I was like running late.
Thanks,
And
guys.
then,
let's
as
swap-
I was
swap-
going
swap
up the house,
avatars.
going up the stairs to the house, there was a
a good
dog, and I
idea.
had to stop and get it.
Oh,
So
no.
I actually went onto the Twitch stream, and it says subjectivity here.
Yeah,
right
that's a
now.
projector, you guys.
I was like,
It's
oh,
spinning
that's
because it's
so-
projecting. Here,
you know,
let me show that to you.
Hysterical.
I mean,
So up
it's
here, we
bad,
actually have a light
unprofessional,
projector.
but
If I
this dog was great.
actually, this
so-
one doesn't have shadows on it, but if I enabled out shadows, it would project out to this. So yeah, that's actually a light that's doing that, which is
Oh,
quite
that's
cool,
cool, man.
right? Oh, thank you for
Wait.
putting on and optimize that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, shadows are costly.
How's it going, bro?
Hey.
Good. How are
Still
you?
floating in
Ni-
here, bear with me.
Nice to have all of our people
No
that we're
worries.
gonna be talking with
Yeah.
today. It's great.
Got all the fam.
So, yes, the fam. So, why don't you guys take a seat? Here we got a nice table here. This one's obviously my seat. This is my seat. No one go here. I'm like Sheldon when it comes to that. Thanks.
All right. I guess I'll sit here.
No. You sit all the way over there.
Mic check.
You sit. I mean, actually, no. If you really do want to sit right there, if you want to sit next to me, I don't mind. It's like,
Let's try this thing out.
because I'm gonna have all of you guys on a 2D audio. I can hear you guys. Can you guys go and whisper, if you don't mind, like as I'm doing that? Thanks.
Mic check.
Cool. So basically, I'm going to be having you guys on kind of like a broadcast style audio, and I already have the camera set up to kind of, go towards you, and I'm going to be clicking on the camera, So
Basically, like your own little multicam system here. I love it.
yeah, definitely. So we'll be getting into this pretty soon, you guys. Probably in about just 1 minute. Get these guys situated out. Are you opening up that?
Well,
Here, let me see.
sorry.
Oh no! You can open it up.
Do the seated mode.
What is it?
It's Bitcoin.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we gotta put some NCR inside of there too.
Oh, I'm seeing the inside of my head. Woo. Okay, there we go.
Oh, really? We fixed your hair though, right?
Yeah, the hair's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the hair's
Baxter.
fine. Except if I
Ken, while
look
we're sitting
down
here-
this way,
Ken,
then I can
Yeah.
still see hair. But
hey Ken, I got your new.
Yeah.
Are you here? I got your new avatar.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
this one
so-
has the pocket dimension in it. Oh, nifty.
Let me put Jason, Subjectivity, and Crow on broadcast. And I'll get seated myself because I already know. Gotta get comfy.
You might have to jump out of the chair.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. There we go.
So jump up to get out.
There we go.
You spawn multiple
So
of your
you're-
characters, my dude.
Yeah, your pocket
Get rid of
dimension
him.
is on your left hip, I think, and it's a grip.
Okay, yeah, work with me fingers.
Nice
Oh, I
morning.
can't
That
see.
gives us a sec.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay, get that thing out of my damn way.
Yeah, adjust your backs.
Stretch.
Let me actually resit in this thing. There we go. That should be better. Ah, excellent. Okay, so welcome you guys. This is our first Neos interview that we're having here. Jason, welcome. Nice to have you here, as well
Thank
as
you.
your
So good to
actors.
be here. Thank you so much, Nix. Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And why don't we get this started off by asking your first question. I got all the questions right here that I've written out for you, all digital.
What? Sweet.
Yes. So our first question is, who are you? Tell us who you are.
So I'm Jason. I am originally from California, and I've been living and working in New York for the last 15 years. I'm a filmmaker by trade. I studied film in school, and I've been working as basically a freelance director for like 20 or 25 years. I've made TV commercials and TV shows and live theater and films. And now for the past 4 years or so, I've been working on the Metamovie project.
Awesome. And so why don't you also let our viewers know what is the Metamovie project?
So the Metamovie project. Let me start to answer the question by asking you a question. Next, have you ever imagined being inside a movie? Like, you love a movie, you love that movie so much that like all you want to do is just like be inside it, be with those characters.
Oh, yeah,
Have you
the
ever
Matrix.
had that thought?
Let's go. Plug in.
Right? So for me, it was, I think a lot of us have had that feeling of having a movie that was really special to them and loving it so much that they just saw themselves inside that movie, alongside the characters in those crazy situations. For me, it was the original Star Wars back in the 70s when I saw it with my parents, and I really wanted to be inside the Millennium Falcon with Luke and Han shooting, lasers at the TIE fighters. And that idea has always stuck with me all my life. And whenever I've made movies, I've tried to make them really immersive. But when I discovered VR, I realized that I might be able to actually make my dream project of making some type of immersive movie where audiences wouldn't just watch it like a traditional movie, but they would actually experience it. They'd go into it. So that's essentially what a metamovie is. A metamovie is a live virtual reality experience where you, the audience member, plays the lead role, and your co-stars are played by live actors who respond to whatever you say or do in real time because they're trained in the art of improv. So in a metamovie, we have multiple sets, and we have storylines, and we have good guys and bad guys, and we've got monsters and weapons, just like any traditional movie. The Alien Rescue, back on the wall there, is a sci-fi thriller. And the idea is that when you experience Alien Rescue or you experience a meta movie, it's kind of like a combination of going to a live play because there's live actors, but it's really about movies. Like, I love movies, so I'm not doing like Shakespeare and traditional theater. It's theater because it's live actors, but the sensibility around it, the story and the characters and the settings, these are all heavily influenced by cinema. But then there's elements of video games because you've got this interactive stuff. You're in a VR world, and you've got guns and weapons and props that you can engage with and interact with. And there's an element of kind of Dungeons and Dragons and role playing, because when you're the hero, that's what we call the main audience member of a meta movie, is the hero. And when you come in and you buy a little ticket, it's not very much money. You come in, you buy a hero ticket, and we give you a little backstory on who your character is, and then you role play that character. And you don't really have to know anything about role playing, but all you do is just kind of go with the flow, and the 5 actors around you lead the way, and they do all the heavy lifting. All you got to do is just kind of like stay in character a little bit and kind of go along for the ride. So
yeah, and this
kind
would
of what
be
a
the
metamovie
project
is.
being set for the Metamovie project would be Alien Rescue, right?
Yes, yeah. So when I say meta movie, I mean it like the concept of an interactive movie. And I've done a couple other ones before Alien Rescue. I've been working on the project for like 3 or 4 years, and I've made smaller meta movies, but Alien Rescue is like at least an hour long. It's big. I've been working with these guys now on this project for years. So Alien Rescue is the big moment where we're going to see if this thing actually works or not.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, why don't we kind of show that off? That was actually going to be my next question for you, is what is Alien Rescue? But you kind of explained that pretty well. And actually, we have the video of a trailer that was produced out a couple of months back by Jason, or somebody did out for the editing for this trailer. But we have it here to show you guys to get kind of like a better idea as to like what it is, and what better way to like show it off through the video. So I got the camera going there to the video, and we can just hit play, and the stream can see it.
Sweet.
I see you have woken from cryostasis, Jason. Welcome to the Black Hawk. The Kelesite Research Facility. Your mission. The team is waiting. Time to go.
Well, look who's here. How do we even know we can trust him?
I vouch for him, Baxter.
Hey, I told you, I go by Axe now. Shut up.
The Zabanager has the most toxic blood in the galaxy, and these bastards are weaponizing her. We can't let that happen. Everyone split up. Let's see what we can find.
I don't care about a rescue mission. I'm here to get rich.
What are you doing, Jason? If Z finds out, she's gonna be pissed.
Hey! Kill him!
Jason, can you hear me? Are you okay?
Whoa, hype. Everyone get those pogs in chat, yeah? Pog. Excellent. So yeah, a really awesome trailer made out there, and definitely gets us hype. Thanks, chat.
big shout out to the editor there, Michael Zonda. He's our video editor. He's edited all of our social media and our trailer and stuff. He just killed that thing. So
So, yeah, and I mean seriously, that just seeing something like that here inside of Neos, and the fact that we have something like that now, and it's even being purposed out to have a full experience that people can go through and have with real-time actors. I think it's just something so unique and different. It's unlike anything that's really been done out, I feel like, in this kind of way. It's something really special. So I got another question for you, Jason. What got you into film?
Oh, wow. Good question. Wow. I mean, I think, it was like, so those early film experiences of going to Star Wars, seeing Alien in the theater for the first time. I was always a child actor. I did like acting in like local theater. And I went to UCLA to study theater. And when I got there, I realized that I wasn't really as good of an actor as all the other actors around me. But right next door to the theater department was the film department. And I always liked science. And I went to science camp when I was a kid. I'm one of those kind of nerdy guys. And so once I discovered that filmmaking was kind of like theater plus all the cool gadgets, I was totally hooked. And I've been doing it ever since.
Absolutely. For me, I'm kind of the same way, where just being inside of my room watching endless movies with my VHS tapes that my parents would probably buy, and going through everything that I could, because we didn't really have that much cable, but we did have a VHS. So
let me ask you next. What was the first movie that you saw that you were like, oh my God, movies freaking awesome. I love movies.
There's a lot. It's kind of hard to just pick one because each one has its own different kind of emotion, or makes it feel different. I would say a movie that I still really even like to this day is like that I could rewatch over and over again would probably be like V for Vendetta, probably, because I just really like the emotional side of that movie, and I don't know, I just feel like it was really good the way that they depicted it out. If I was to say like one movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another question for you. What got you interested in VR and using Neos as a software to help your project?
Good question. So like I said, I was always into tech and gadgets and gear. And as a filmmaker, I'm old enough to be able to remember when we went from standard def to high def video. And moving through the ages of technology with film, you're always looking for ways to make your movie more and more interesting. So, the first VR that came out was kind of like 360 video back in 2014 or 2013 or something. And I got my hands on an early VR 360 rig that took like 9 GoPros and rubber banded them all together. You had to like export all 9 streams and then stitch them all together. It was this massive, huge headache. But I was kind of digging the whole, 3DOF, 360 kind of movie. And then when I saw High Fidelity for the first time, I saw their website. You guys know High Fidelity was an early player in social VR about 5 or 6 years ago. And when I saw their website and I read about what they were doing and I saw it was free, I was like, oh, I gotta get this. And so like, I remember that day when I stumbled upon their website, I then instantly started looking around for VR gear, and I got, an early Index or an early Vive, and just started dabbling around in High Fidelity. And that was kind of the start. And then, I was in High Fidelity for 2 or 3 years, developing the first couple of sketches. That's where I met these guys, Nicole and Ken. We worked together on a couple projects over there. And when High Fidelity kind of imploded, they basically ran out of their investment money. I had to move the project to a new metaverse, and I went metaverse shopping basically. And I popped by here and I met you. I remember that first day that I met you and Aegis, and I popped over to VR Chat and took a look at what they were doing over there. Yeah, and so I looked at, and that was, this was again about 2.5 years ago, and that was when Sansar was still kind of hopping, and I looked at Sansar, VR Chat, and maybe a couple others. And then I asked my team, especially my avatar designer, Ultranique. For me, the avatars are really, really important. Everything is important, but I did not want a really cheesy, lame avatar. I wanted it to be the best, most coolest types of avatars. And he was like, well, if you're after the most high-end work that we can do in terms of avatar design, it has to be Neos, no question down. And so then, Neos was kind of small and VR chat was really big. And there was all these potential audience members for this type of work. And I remember having to make a really hard decision. Like, if I build a Neos, it's a newer metaverse and it has all this power, but there's not too many people there yet. If I build a VR chat, it's a kind of a crappier metaverse. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but just you can't do as much. Like, it's no secret that Neos is the most powerful metaverse out there. There's no really denying that. So it was just a question of, do you want to go with the metaverse that has the amazing engine and all this power, or do you want to go someplace that's already established with all these people? And I made the choice. I was like, I want to take a chance. I didn't really know that much about Neos, but I just saw the potential here. And I'm just so glad I did, because what I didn't know at the time was that the community of Neos is even more special than the engine itself. I mean, the engine is incredible, but it's the people that use the engine that make this place so great. So that's how I kind of stumbled upon Neos, like I said, about 2.5 years ago. And boy, that was the best decision that I've ever made. I just couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and and you guys as well are a part of this community too. You guys have been here for many years, and just having you guys, being here inside of Neos and actually building out that community, being a part of it, and actually caring about it, it couldn't make me even more pleased and happier. And which is exactly why we're doing this stream today, giving this time for you guys, because the fact that you've chosen us to be able to do that, I couldn't be more grateful for that, because this is such an early time here for Neos, and we'll even remember these days as like, oh, remember, the time of Neos as it was now, to where we're at. I can't even imagine what's going to be like in a few years. I really can't.
I mean, a few years, a few days. That's what's so crazy about this. About
a
Neos,
few days,
man.
We're putting out updates a lot.
10 days ago, 10 days ago, there were no vehicles in Neos, or maybe 2 weeks ago, there was no real vehicles in Neos. And then all of a sudden, Gearbell and Lucas started, kind of tweaking their Corgi system, and suddenly now there was a car or two, and now 10 days later, there's freaking tracks and hover cars, and it's like, you guys are insane, man. I don't know what is happening here. But
yeah, we're actually going to be showing off.
Aegis
has actually built out some better vehicle systems. So after this interview, we're even going to be showing that off for stream, because that's been the big topic here inside now has been those vehicles, which
so amazing.
Cool. So we got our next question, because for this interview, we're again just doing 21 questions, you guys, for Jason and for this Metamovie project for Alien Rescue. This is going to be question number 7. Your thoughts, or actually question number 6, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Advice for viewers on how they could start a project from scratch if you are new to the VR entertainment. So you got any advice for possibly?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Yeah. I mean, I think, let's see. I mean, first of all, you have to find an idea that you're super passionate about, right? I mean, that's the first start, is like, what kind of story do you want to tell? Do you want to do, interactive stuff like me? I mean, if I wasn't doing live interactive, which is really quite complicated, I think I would be making like machinima style stuff. I'd be in Neos, using the camera system, writing scripts and filming it like a traditional, not traditional because we're in VR, but I'd shoot it with like virtual cameras, and I'd shoot coverage, and I'd edit it like a movie, basically. I think there's a lot, I think that's an easier way to get into than this stuff. The live stuff is crazy difficult.
So I would think camera acres, you guys, as well. Camera acres are great.
I mean, the Neos camera is so good. So I think you start with an idea that you're really passionate about, and then I think you have to surround yourself with a team. I mean, all of this work is so collaborative, and that's another reason why Neos is so cool, because you can make all your collaborations in real time. So I think you start with an idea, then you get a team, and it shouldn't be too big, like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Like, you don't need a big army of people. And then you just have to figure out the roles of what everybody's going to do. And my big philosophy is to say yes to everything. Like, if you want to be the leader of a collaborative project, and you've got an idea and you want people to kind of help you with it, I think the biggest piece of advice I would give you is to not be a jerk and not pretend like you're some super amazing artist and all these people are working for you because you're so great. Like, that's the worst way to do it. You have to understand that if you're going to work in a collaborative medium, it has to be a real collaboration. And that means not demanding that it's always your way every time. So I have found the more I say yes to an actor has a suggestion about a new line, or somebody has a suggestion about a way to build the set, or one of, anything, just fucking say yes, man. Just say yes and involve your people and give up some of your own ownership of your work and let it be more of a group ownership. And you're going to have more buy-in from your collaborators, and the project, whatever you're making, it will just get better, because there's no one person that is so smart or so artistic or so genius. It really does take a collaboration. So that's my biggest point, is to let go of your ego and say yes.
And that's a very hard thing to do for some people, especially in the
it's hard for everybody. Yeah, it's hard for me too. I mean, you don't want to let go of your stuff. But if you don't, I mean, I've tried it the other way, and it's really not fun when you're saying the more you say no to people, the more they don't really want to work with you. So it's like, just give it up, man. Just say yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so great answer for that one. So question number 7, your thoughts on how VR for film, or I'm sorry, what's your thoughts on VR for film, and what sets it apart from traditional film and storytelling?
Well, I mean, I think it's the natural evolution of the art form. I mean, we started off with live theater for hundreds and hundreds of years. We had, photography, we had early cinema. We had, cinema kind of evolved and went from black and white to color to big screen to 3D. So you see, visual storytelling kind of evolves naturally. And VR to me is just the obvious natural evolution. There's no denying that being in an immersive space like we are now is just so special and so interesting. And so when you think about taking a story that you usually watch in 2D and just ask the question, wouldn't it be cool to be inside the story, like in that story world? It's such an obvious thing to me. So I feel like it's just the natural evolution. And I think that, what we're doing with the Metamovie, and of course, we're not the only ones playing around with this type of immersive, interactive storytelling. We'd never want to say that we were like the first, but of course, there's not many of us doing it. But I think it seems pretty clear to me that this thing is probably going to work, and I think we're going to see more and more of this kind of thing.
Yeah, it brings it back to what you were saying right when the interview first started, where you were talking about how you're putting somebody inside of the movie, and I think that's like the biggest thing that feels like different for you, right? Is that instead of it feeling just like
immersion.
Oh, totally. I'm watching this thing, I feel like I'm here and I'm in that space.
I'm here. Yeah, I mean, and there's lots of challenges that go along with it, but boy, I mean, I still remember the very first time that that Nicole and I over here, she plays Z in Alien Rescue. The first time Nicole and I started messing around with just a couple of pages of dialogue and script, and we were in an immersive world, and she was playing a character, and I was pretending to be the audience member, and she started doing her lines and started talking in character, and we were in this space, and I just got this wave of chills, and I was like, oh my God, like this is awesome, like this is gonna work. Like, so it's just, it's pretty cool.
And I personally have witnessed it work in the way of back at that event for what was the event called again?
Oh, the Venice Film Festival, yeah.
The Venice Film Festival. Yeah, the Venice Film Festival. That alone, just seeing how people were able to go through that, and the fact that we even got to somebody giving us reviews on it of how the experience was, that even though that it was intense, it was also really amazing for them, and they felt like a badass basically afterwards after going through it, because you really do feel like you're this character, since you're having all these other people motivate you to get into that character. So, okay, so question number 8 for you, Jason. Was there a time where you experienced difficult feedback from the project?
From day one, I think. I mean, so you said difficult feedback. I mean, all the challenges.
You could just say one. You could just say one. We don't have to go into like the big detail there.
I mean, I think the last thing that happened to us. So we have all sorts of. This is very experimental. What we're doing. We're learning it, and we're making it like as we do it. So we constantly make mistakes. We constantly screw up, and we've had every type of weird and awful situation that could happen to you has happened to us. We've had trolls come in to our live performance and be really like disruptive and difficult to manage. And we've got. I mean, I think what's really sucked for us during Venice is that we had a pretty big name reviewer come in, like a film reviewer basically, and she came in and she did our experience, and it was running about an hour or so, and she was on a Quest that was tethered to her laptop, which was kind of I think a low end laptop, and we could start to kind of tell, right? Like at first. You interact with them, and you could tell like they're not talking that much, and you're like, hey, you okay? You having fun? And she's trying to, everybody role plays a little bit differently, so we're always trying to gauge like how well they're going to role play. But she went from like talking a little bit to talking less and talking less and talking less, and we knew like, there's a problem here. And then at the very end, there's this final scene, and there's like a door that you have to go through, and there's like a button, and she's like just spamming the button on the door. Like we're wrapping up. We're doing like the final like wrap up of the show, and she's just spamming this button. And she runs out, and then she's gone. And then I hop off. I'm like, oh, that's bad. I hop off and I get on the email. She basically threw up all over herself. She basically like the reviewer who could tell the world that like we're doing a good job basically got completely sick because of us. Like we made her barf. So that's never very fun.
She got the intense motion sickness, which I can imagine that would be probably the worst feedback is that you could say that somebody
honestly, she was pretty nice about it. She didn't hold it against us necessarily, she was cool about it. She was really cool about it.
But it's never fun, you have to develop.
I was actually when I was making that question up, I was actually hoping that you would talk about that. Is that wrong? Is that wrong that I was hoping that you're actually going to bring that up? So thank you.
You got to own your failures, man. I mean, we failed so many times. You just have to. At some point, you just have to get over it. It's part of the process.
Fail often, fail upwards, right?
If you enjoy your failures, you'll realize that you can be more accepting of the ones that will come in the future, and as well as you can like learn from them. It's not something you should look at as a negative. You can actually realize that
it's just part of the process.
If you learn from something, it's not a failure because you've picked up knowledge you didn't have.
Exactly, and we already know that we're changing stuff inside of the alien rescue thing to make it so it's more smooth.
Exactly.
More smooth.
Less barfy.
Less barfy. Always good. Nobody wants to be throwing up unless they're at a party. Actually, not even then. You probably should get to drinking water, which actually we do have water here for you guys. Would you guys like some water?
Oh, great. Yeah,
here, let me give you a cup there. There you go.
Virtually hydrate.
Oh, no problem. I'm just giving you guys your water here. All right. It is virtual. Please be sure to drink actual water too.
Thank you.
There you go.
Much appreciated.
There we go.
Oh, no problem.
Oh wow, that went fast.
Yep, I mean it's virtual. What do you expect?
Just chug it all.
Yep.
Chug it all.
Oh hell.
Like we're at the frat house. It's great.
It's great. That water animation's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of work with liquid physics some more. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, water is the best. I agree. So, question 9. Here we're already getting through these so quickly, yeah. So, wait. Oh yeah. Were there any difficulties that you experienced during the writing and direction, and what did you do to adapt?
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to deal with actors. That's really the tricky part because they talk back.
We don't go easy on them either.
I mean, that's the only problem with live action actors is that they actually have mouths and brains, and they don't always do what you want. I mean, the whole process has been such a learning process. I think. When I'm writing this stuff, I am trying to stick to traditional storytelling techniques of, interesting characters and scenarios and good plot. And that stuff kind of usually comes okay. Then it's just a question of trying to figure out how to make the hero, that's the name that we give for our main audience member, how to make that hero's experience really well, and how to I think the big thing that we always work on, you guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we've got this story that we're trying to tell, and it goes from here to here, and we've got scenes, and we've got dialogue, we've got plot points, but we tell the hero, hey man, you can say or do anything you want. So that means that they are constantly interrupting us and they're constantly wanting to improv and talk. And we have to figure out, how do you go from your scripted dialogue, which you've memorized and practiced, but then you get interrupted by somebody and you've got to improv with them for a little while so it feels normal and natural. And then you've got to like get out of that situation and get back into the scripted dialogue. And that, man, I mean, I don't know. You guys are the ones that really do that. I don't know. What is your technique for managing that? I just kind of throw it on the actors and say, all right, here's your script, deal with it. But I mean, that's the challenge for you guys more than me, I would think.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I actually do have some input. So like you have your scripted stuff and we all know our scripted parts fairly well, but there comes a point that sometimes somebody will, the hero will interrupt you or something, and maybe what they say will bring up stuff that kind of comes here. And so in my mind, I have sort of the script is like segmented pieces of information, and I try to get through the scene with getting all of the information in there, but honestly, it doesn't matter what order it's in. And also, if they put some extra information in there that I can bring back later, it's sort of like this little pocket, and I kind of have this visual in my mind of like a list of all the things they've said. So if they say, oh yeah, my planet has this, and on my planet it's this, and my family is like this, you can try to compartmentalize that up here somewhere and try to bring that back later. So you're kind of just picking it out and throwing it back into the script. So that's kind of how I
awesome.
do it.
And basically, it sounds like, and basically what you're saying is, though, having a good relationship also with the actor, and also the fact that the actor is, because you can't direct as much if the actor isn't, because so it's a mutual relationship with direction and acting, that the actor also has to be in the mood. It can't just be a one-way thing of direction. It's also the actor that really is playing like a lot of the role, which is a very good point. And
absolutely.
But and I guess it's more of the adaptation would be on the actor's part than anything, because they're the ones actually having to listen to the direction, make it into the way to seem close to the vision.
I mean, what we try to do is we start by rehearsing with nobody there. We just rehearse the blocking of the scene. We figure out where everybody wants to go. I will sometimes pretend to be the hero character. And then once we get the scene kind of in place, then we start bringing in friends of the project or just random people that we find. And we say, all right, can you just come in and play this scene? Here's a little bit of backstory. And they might not know anything about what our project is. We just say, kind of just go with it. And then it gives the actors a chance to be with like a live hero, because that's the hardest thing about this project, is that every hero we bring in is totally different and totally unpredictable. So there's just no way to know what's going to happen. That's what's so exciting about this thing, is that every single time we run a 1 hour performance, it's completely different from the last one. We've never had any two performances ever be the same, because each hero is totally different. And that's what makes it so hard for these guys, is that we just have to keep just practicing and trying to get different people in, get a shy person in, get a talkative person in, get a guy in, get a girl in, get somebody old or younger, like try to mix it all up. And that is just, it's not easy.
Awesome. And Frox just added some extra anchors for us for our actors too here, which thank you for that.
Sweet.
Frox. So now I know which ones those are. But yeah, good answers, you guys. Let me go on for now. Question number 10. Can you remember some funny moments that you experienced while working on the project? So I guess all three of you could even answer for this one.
I mean, I will let you guys, most of the funny stuff that happens to the actors, and it's usually bad. I mean, I don't know. What are some of the things that...
I remember having just about heart failure that day. I accidentally tried to, what was it? I don't remember what I was. I jumped somewhere accidentally, and I was no longer
trying to get
on
rid of your name
planet.
Tag or something like that.
Yeah, that was it. I think so.
Yeah.
And I ended up back in the lobby, and I had to go invisible and like follow the rest of the crowd through as they were going to the story, where and just rush to my mark, before.
So basically, it was a live performance. It was a live performance for the Venice Film Festival, which is a really big deal. The Venice Film Festival is the biggest film festival in the world, and they asked us to come do a work in progress, and we basically like shat ourselves with fear and nervousness, because it was, sorry, I don't know if this is a PG stream.
Nerve-wracking.
My bad.
No, it's Joe Rogan podcast, obviously.
Okay,
so
all right.
we're fine.
Yeah, so we were shitting in our pants. We were super nervous, and it was one of the early ones. And basically, what happened to Baxter over here is that we had 15 people moving through all of these massive maps together. That's another big challenge that these maps are huge, and so these 15 people are going, and he's supposed to be like standing outside of the lab, and here come all the people, but he pushes the wrong button or has some weird glitch happen, and suddenly he's like out of the scene, like way far away.
Yeah,
and
completely different part of the map.
Running and running to get there.
I can't even imagine that, because especially when you're trying to do something live inside of an experience, and then all of a sudden you have to get somewhere.
Because anything can go wrong. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Nicole, remember when we first started back in High Fidelity? This was 2015 when social VR tech was still in its kind of infancy, and High Fidelity was not stable. It was never stable. Like, whoever wrote that code base, no offense, man, but wow, there were some bugs in that thing.
Some issues, yeah.
And I feel like every time we try to do a live show, Nicole, like somebody would just crash in the middle of the show and have to like come back a few minutes later, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of this stuff, though. I think my favorite time in High Fidelities was when I think Tiffany turned herself into a slug. Do you remember?
I love that.
Like a giant slug.
Tiffany,
yeah, just like in the middle of like a bank heist.
What's
It's like
Tiffany? Who's Tiffany, and why did Tiffany turn into a slug, please?
I mean, so like this project has had like a lot of different people, especially in the High Fidelity with the heist. There were so many sort of bit parts and like characters. So like we had a whole bunch of different people, and I remember it was one of the female actors that came through, and I think her name was Tiffany, and she turned herself into a giant slug, and she couldn't get herself out of it, and it was pretty hilarious to have
she was playing like a humanoid biped character, like just a basic human. Yeah. But in her avatar collection, she had this giant slug, and she was going about her business and acting out the scene. We had an audience and everything, and she just must have hit the wrong combination of buttons, because oftentimes in our meta movies, we are hopping from avatar to avatar. Even for a hero, for a hero, they might encounter like 15 different characters, but there's only like 4 or 5 actors. So in certain scenes, you might leave, walk out of the room and then hop into a new avatar and change your voice a little and come back in as a new character. And she was, I think, in the middle of trying to change characters, but she just grabbed the wrong avatar. And this slug thing was huge. It like completely took up the whole room.
We're trying to diner, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to play the whole scene with a straight face, and suddenly now you've got like a slug, which is. We also had to kill a hero once, which wasn't really fun. That was during the Venice run. Yeah, so sometimes when a hero comes in, they might be unpredictable in the way they role play, and that's totally fine. We want that. We want you to go for it, do whatever you want. And on our end, it's our responsibility to be like ready for that. So if you want to play a villain character, we're ready for that. If you want to push our buttons and test out the limits to the game and, kind of poke around the edges of what it's capable and maybe find our weaknesses, I mean, we're okay with that. We just, we don't want you to be a dick about it. But like, if you want to mess around, you can. And we have that all the time. We don't mind that. But we had somebody during the Venice Festival who he didn't want anything to do with anything. Like, he wouldn't talk to anybody. He wouldn't engage with us at all. He just was like running around looking at stuff. He got himself in trouble. I think Aegis had to like pull him out of the wall at some point because he glitched himself through a wall. And all that's fine, but the fact that he like wouldn't actually engage with any of the actors and just completely ignored it. At some point, I play a
we'd be
small
talking
character.
to him, engaging him in dialogue, and he'd just wander off.
But at the same time, he actually was the one that found one of the Easter eggs, which I didn't even know was there.
You've always defended him. You've always defended this guy.
Yeah.
He was running around in a real gamer mindset, just poking and prodding at everything, and
But I mean, I think that's
I got really bad. I mean, that's the thing. That's what I love actually about Nicole, and she plays the lead, and she kind of has to shoulder all of the stress of dealing with our heroes, and she's so good. You're so even-mannered. Like, you never get flustered. I actually get more flustered than I think anybody. Aww. And so this guy wouldn't engage with anybody, and he was being a total dick, I thought. And so we have this fail-safe way of dealing with, with heroes who are being jerks. We can kill them. We have guns, and we just shoot them and kill them. And so I got on the comms with Nicole during the scene, and I'm like, take him out. And I could tell that she was like, "Oh no! Like we're gonna. He's the main character. Like he's our guest. We can't kill him." And I was, "Take him out. I don't like this anymore." So basically, we murdered him, and then Nicole had to like figure out
hey,
a way
in virtual
to like
reality,
explain it
you guys
away.
can do this sort of stuff. Remember that you can take out this kind of energy.
Yeah. So that was it was not our best moment, but we had to do it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to our next question. I guess that's pretty funny in its own sense. So question number 11, what did you do before you found out about Neos?
In terms of what? In terms of the Metamovie or just in general? Or
Before the Metamovie, yeah.
I mean, before the Metamovie, I was, I think the last project I made before the Metamovie was a 45-minute short film called Animals. Usually if my day job is like I teach film at Brooklyn College in New York, and that pays my rent. And then my side hustles are all like freelance directing gigs. I had a couple of, maybe a decade worth of really good commercial directing where I was making good money. That's a really hard gig to sustain. So after commercials, I did some reality TV for a while, and that's kind of a drag. And then I just got into making my own movies.
Reality TV? What kind of reality?
Yeah. So my first reality TV show was I directed this show called Who Gets the Dog on Animal Planet. This was like 15 years ago or so, and it was a story.
The dog? What is this, like Judge Judy kind
like
of
a divorce
version?
it's like
no, it's actually a really cool show. It was like that you take a shelter dog, and then you let it spend the weekend with 3 different families that want to adopt it, and we give the families a little video camera, we give them little chores to do with the dog, and then we analyze, like veterinarians and dog experts then analyze and figures out, well, who's the best fit for the dog. So as opposed to like, anybody coming in and picking up the dog that they want, this was like finding the right home for the dog. It was actually really, really sweet. I spent most of that year, it was a year long that I was on that show. We did about 15 episodes, and I swear to God, I spent that entire year on my hands and knees, like crawling around on the floor, because I'm constantly trying to get dogs to like sit over here and go over here. So I feel like that entire year was like I had rug burns on my knees, and I got to know every breed. You
should have gotten some knee pads, dude. By that point, just go on Amazon, man. Knee pads. If you're dealing with dogs all day, you gotta get those.
I also did another reality show with this guy, Dr. Drew Pensky. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yes.
He used to be actually really cool. I don't know that I'm a big fan of his anymore, but I worked with him right after his radio show with that radio host, Jimmy Kimmel, I think. And he had a show that was all about sex ed. Like he just did, it was basically, it was strictly sex. Yeah, Loveline was his radio show. And then his first TV show was strictly sex with Dr. Drew. And I was the first director on that show, and we like interviewed.
Wasn't it him and Adam Carolla or something?
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. We interviewed like 80-year-old sex addicts, and we was like a really interesting series of shows.
I need to find this.
I basically did basic 2D filmmaking.
80-year-old sex addicts. Sounds
that was some really weird stuff.
Sounds great. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm learning more and more through this interview about Jason. Like,
a little
bit deep dark waters here that we're going into.
Yeah, you don't even know everything.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked about the past. Maybe we should ask about the future, shall we? And that's question number 12. What do you plan to do with Neos in the near future?
Well, we've been working on Alien Rescue here for about a year and a half, I think. And our hope is and we're not done with it yet. When we did the Venice Festival in September, we showed the first half, and we did 20 live performances. Mm-hmm. And we basically took it up to a certain point of the story, and then we just said, okay, stop. And the audiences all knew it was half of the thing. So now we're back to work on the second half, and the script is done, and the sets are being built, and the last avatars are being designed, and the logics are all being programmed. We're hoping to debut in March. That's our goal. Now, this is a self-funded, low-budget project, so sometimes when we say March, it really means April, but we're really hoping that it's going to be March. There's a film festival that we would love to to be in March. And so once we get it up and running, our plan is basically to try to make it sustainable by selling tickets. We know that it's very hard to like make money in VR and putting on a play or doing a movie in VR and asking people to pay money for it. We know it's really, really, really early. And so we don't really expect to charge a lot of money, and we definitely don't expect to make any money. But what we want to do is just start doing the show every week. Okay? Once a week on every Saturday, we're gonna advertise it to the community. Honestly, most Neosans are probably just going to get free tickets because everybody in this community has helped us so much. So I think if you're a Neosian, you're probably going to get a free ticket. But what we're going to try to do is advertise to the greater VR community, VR gamers, people who enjoy movies, and just we want to run the performance, once a week for as long as we can. Basically, if we have customers who are interested and audiences who want to try it out, and they're coming in, then we're going to just keep doing it. I've got other meta movies that I want to make. Ultimately, what I'd like is to carve out a little chunk of Neos that's like a multiplex theater or like Broadway in New York with multiple theaters. But I see the meta movie having on any given day, you could do Alien Rescue, you could do this story, you could do that story. Some might be long, some might be short, some might be different genres of dramedy and drama and comedy. But Alien Rescue is what we're going to focus on for 2021. So every single week on Saturday afternoons, we're going to be running the show.
Cool. At least we have a clear future on that, which I'm excited about that because helping with it too. So question number 13 for you. How did you find the actors you were working with for your project?
Good question. It's really, I have to say, it's what's one of the biggest challenges is, if you're making a traditional film or TV show or play, there's a lot of actors out there. I mean, I live in New York. You can just, throw a rock and hit an actor. But finding an actor who not only,
Please don't do that.
Please don't find your
finding
actors
an actor
like
that also does VR and understands VR. It is getting easier, but back in the day, man, it was really hard. I put ads out in all the major publications that you would normally put for casting notices in New York. And I met with a lot of people. And, traditionally what I would do is I would find an actor who said, yeah, I have VR. And then I'd say, all right, you got to kind of prove that you know what you're doing. Meet me over in High Fidelity at, on Saturday at noon. And most of them couldn't do that. Most of them couldn't figure it out. It was just the tech was too difficult. Every once in a while, an actor would show up and meet me in VR, and I'd be like, all right, that's the first hurdle. You have VR gear, you know what you're doing. Now let's talk about the project. Now let's, here's some lines to read, and just like casting anything, most actors, it's, they're not right for the part. You have a part and then you try to put an actor on it, and it usually takes a lot of iteration before you get that right part. So for me, it was very time consuming and very difficult. And honestly, once I found an actor who I really liked and respected and could work with, I held on to them for dear life. So Nicole was the first actress that I met that I thought, okay, she knows what she's doing. She is a proper actress, but she knows VR and she had experience doing immersive theater and live interactive theater. So she understood that this was not going to be just a traditional thing where you just say your lines. She knew already how to interact with a real person. And then I met Ken, also in High Fidelity. I just kind of recruited him out of the blue, I think, and just said,
you had an ad up in the forums. You were looking for extras. So he hired me to come by and just walk around in the background. And I was like, all right. I think I did that exactly twice. He started casting me in the role. So.
Then
later
realized,
on, I made him an NPC
actor.
Avatar system for the background anyway, so he didn't need actual people to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him act
yeah.
myself, and he actually is very good for someone who you just had as a backup.
Thank you.
That's pretty shocking.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Yeah, so, I totally tripped into this.
You did, and I didn't let you go. You've been with us for now, what,
3 years now,
at least. Yeah.
Well,
So
funny, I was
tricky.
actually just over in High Fidelity a little earlier, making them watch Being John Malkovich. By the way,
awesome.
Good stuff.
So basically, what you just
got
to do is just kind of get out there more, and find another which avenue that you can try to find an actor that would be out there, right? But you said that you
honestly,
it's kind of a limited pool, I'm sure.
Listen, man, if anybody out there is an actor who does VR, you have a lot of opportunity. And this actually goes to the role play community as well. folks in the VR roleplay community are ripe for acting in VR, because roleplaying and acting are really, really similar. So if you're like an extroverted type who likes to do roleplay, there's a new there's a new movement going on. It's pretty small right now, but we're seeing over in alt space, they just did Neverland Live with like 25 live actors, and you've got the Tempest at Tender Claws, you've got Adventure Lab, you've got all these groups of people all doing their own take on kind of immersive theater in VR. And there's never been a better time because there's not many actors out there. So actors, if you are into acting or you like role play and into VR, keep your eyes and ears open, because directors like me are desperate for talent. So, hit me up if you're an actor out there. We've got projects in the works.
Shout out.
Yep.
Okay, so we got the next question, which is question number 14. How did you direct actors in VR, and what benefits or challenges came from it?
I remember so clearly. Again, this is back when even just getting a social metaverse to be stable was tricky. In, I think, 2015, when we first started working in high fidelity, it took us like a month just to get 4 of us in a room talking together without massive glitchy, laggy, like crap. So, the first step was just like making social VR work, because we were in there pretty early. And then it was, I'll never forget this. It was like, all right, it was time to rehearse. Nicole was there. I think this was before I met Ken. We were doing this little short sketch, and I had the script, and I couldn't figure out how to get the script into VR. Like VR couldn't manage like a PDF or anything, and I could bring in a JPEG, but that was just one page. The script was 10 pages. It took me like 2 months just to figure out how to get a working script into VR. So sometimes it's been the things that you don't really even think about that are the biggest challenges. And then I don't know what's challenging for you guys. I mean, it's all fucking hard, man.
Like as far as like the director to actor sort of relationship, or
yeah, or just how it differs from in VR as into
from real life. So honestly, doing sort of immersive interactive theater, it's really not that different for me, at least. One adjustment that I had to make is because I don't have full body, so you really have to make use of like what you can do with your hands, what you can do with your face, and now with the Vive Pro Eye, what you can do with your eyes. And so to some degree, like the adjustment was different between like, okay, so in real life, I can use my whole body. I can roll around on the floor. I can use sort of these expansive gestures, where in VR, with the equipment that I currently have, you kind of have to make adjustments, physical adjustments. But aside from that,
I'm sure you'll love those mouth trackers that are coming out pretty soon. Then,
yeah, I know eventually, like the whole full body thing, like full body tracking, people have it in here, and it looks amazing. So, but like as far as like the actual relationship, it's always felt very much like an interactive, immersive theater rehearsal. It's just you have a headset on your head, and that's about it. Like it hasn't been that different, which is nice.
Oh. Well, awesome to hear. Okay, so let's move on to the next question for you guys. Let's see, let me move that.
These are great questions, by the way, Next. I'm pretty impressed.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It was just a night where I was just like on my notepad, and I was just like, yes, these
are good. I mean, I've been interviewed before, and most people don't ask these kinds of questions, so bring it on. What do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. So question number 15. What was the process for number 15? Okay, anyways. What was the process for getting the actors ready for a performance?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just we rehearse once a week. Before, when we knew that we were going to get into Venice, we upped it to twice a week, maybe 3 hours per rehearsal. We start by doing what we call a table read, which is just standing around a table with the scripts in our hands, reading through the lines, making sure we all understand what the scene is about. In directing with actors, you talk about what the character wants from the scene. So we talk a lot about like, all right, what does you want here? What is the obstacle to getting that one? Like, these are kind of technical theater terms, but we do this as we rehearse, just sitting around a table. And once we all have a sense of what the scene is about, and the actors are starting to get off book, which means they've memorized the lines, then we go and we start blocking it out. And blocking just means, the actor stands there and they say that line, and then after that line, they walk over and sit on the couch, and then at that time, you're moving all the little pieces around on the playing board, basically. We usually do this while the sets are being built, so oftentimes we're in just like a half-built set, and we're learning the blocking, and the set's getting built. And as that's going on, we're also dealing with any of the interactive logics programming for stuff that's happening. We're also dealing with the composer who's writing original music and trying to figure out how to get that piece of music to start at that time and to stop at that time. So, it's just a building. It's an iteration process of rehearsing over and over again until we memorize it, working on all the staging and blocking, and then adding all the extra elements, the interactive lighting, the way the monsters shoot out lasers, and working on the weapon system to make sure that, you can shoot somebody with 10 bullets and not 20 bullets, like all the technical stuff. And it all kind of, it's like almost like sculpting, like it just slowly comes together, little piece by little piece by little piece. And then at some point you're just like, oh, it's all here when it's ready to go.
Yeah, you bring out a very valid point, though, saying that it's not just about the process of when the show is actually going on. There's also the huge process of like what's beforehand and what mostly people aren't seeing as to the setting up of that process, because it could even be days before where you're collaborating, talking with that person, saying this is where we need you this exact time, and your mind is always in it in a way.
Yeah, it's like a juggling act. You've got all sorts of things going on, and you're just hoping that you just all just kind of move towards that finish line. And then when you're there, that's the best, man. When you've got the project kind of up and running and the audience is there and you're going live in 5 minutes, just that feeling when you do your stream, when you're just like, okay, here we go. Like, let's not mess this up. This is live. That's the really fun part.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes. Just no screaming out the F word.
Yeah.
Okay, so question number 16. What inspired the unique designs for each of the characters for Alien Rescue?
Ooh, boy. Oh, that's a good question.
How did I end up a kangaroo anyway?
I think this. I got to give a huge shout out to our avatar designer Ultranique, Chris McBride, who I met over I met him in High Fidelity. He won. High Fidelity did an avatar contest, and he won the contest with one of his avatars. And what he had going on was like an early version of Dynamic Bones. The High Fidelity called them Flow Bones. But he had this Ganesh avatar, which is basically like this Indian religious mythological character that's got a big pot belly and this long elephant trunk. Yeah, and it was like the best avatar in High Fidelity.
It's kind of like a Hindu elephant.
Yes, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So
that was one of the early love chess contests and stuff too. That's one of the first times I was in there.
So I saw that avatar. I had been up until then. I had been working with stock avatars that you get just off the internet, and they were all really lame. And when I saw his, I was like, oh, I got to meet this guy. And so I started talking to Ultranique, and Ultranique is a tech guy who's got a day job like a lot of us, but he just loves avatar design. That's what he loves to do. He doesn't do a lot of like model making or world designing, and he doesn't do a lot of programming, although he knows all that. But what he really loves and does well is just strict avatar design. So the process for Alien Rescue was looking at all the sci-fi movies that I loved as a kid and as an adult, and working with the screenwriter who kind of brought these. Our screenwriter Chris Insana, who's out in LA, he wrote Alien Rescue without much input from me. I told him that I wanted it to be sci-fi. I told him some elements, but he made the first piece of clay of the sculpture he threw down on the table, and he wrote all these characters. He invented the character of Z, who Nicole plays. She's the leader of the gang. He invented Baxter, and he actually wrote, basically, he wrote their character descriptions, not exactly like this, but fairly close. So I've started with his original concept of, Z's this badass character. I don't think he wrote like the shaved head and the skull tattoo, but she was always designed to be kind of feminine and really pretty, but also really tough. And the Baxter character was always supposed to be a little bit of an outsider, a little bit of you can't really trust this guy.
He's an asshole, let's face it.
I don't know about that. So it was just, Ultra and I just working over and over again. I mean, I could show you 100 design sketches that he's done over the years.
Actually,
wow.
why don't you we'll put that in front of the camera.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
That takes me back. Wow.
That's yeah.
So some of his other previous models that they made out Ultranique. And this was that Hindu elephant that we were talking about.
Those are the winners from that thing. Yeah, so Ultra's that first one. And like I said, he was the one. He was the one who really convinced me to come to Neos, because I really wanted him. I said, like, for Alien Rescue, I'm going to push you so hard. You're going to get so mad at me because I'm going to really push you to design some really innovative avatars. And he has. I mean, he's done some great work in here. But to answer your question about how, it's just looking at visual references, drawing thumbnail sketches, saying, okay, I like the ears. The ears are good, the tail's bad, the feet are good, the eyes are bad. Like, you just
reference. We need that reference.
Right?
The most important thing for when you're trying to do art and design. The artist is a thief. Remember this, guys. The artist is a thief.
Totally.
Always will be. But that's fine, because it's not thievery if it's inspiration. Right.
I mean, I've always said that. I say the same thing. You steal an idea, but then you process it through your own head, and when it comes out, it's no longer the old idea. It's now your take on it.
Improve upon it, make it something new.
It's the same thing that you see a lot actually in. It's the same thing that you actually do see in TV shows with, like, let's say Star Trek, right? There's been so many reiterations of that now with, like, Dark Mirror episodes and, other forms of those shows, of comedy versions that have been made out for the Orville, or, there's just been so many reiterations of something of that TV show specifically that you would think, but it's also a way of, like, I love seeing the reiterations of it. I think that that's amazing, watching those variations of it too. So, yeah. So let me get into for the next question for you guys. Okay, so question number, I'm trying to remember what question we're on. 1 second.
I think 15. I feel like you're on 15.
17.
I think so.
We're on 17 actually. We already did Burger King foot lettuce. Number 15. So number 17. What's your favorite scene in Alien Rescue? So you have a favorite scene so far?
Oh, wow. I bet I do. Let me think. I mean, I right now we're working on the end, which I'm super excited about. There's a shootout scene that we call it the Bob Shootout Scene, which I really have a fun time because I get to play this kind of tentacle creature that shoots laser fire out, and the avatar's quite big, so I'm looking down on everybody and I'm kind of spraying them with my laser fire, and they're all trying to kill me, and they eventually kill me.
Yeah, why don't we spawn out? Aegis,
could you
spawn us out? Can you spawn us out that laser alien for us, and then that way chat can kind of like they can get a better idea of as to what Bob is. That would be pretty nice. Well, they'll put it out here. Continue talking about the scene though. So that's one of my favorite scenes, in that just I get to play the bad guy and get shot. I love the opening scene on the Black Hawk, just because the Black Hawk itself is this amazing creation that Aegis made. I think it's like the biggest spaceship in VR. I know that's probably a big statement to say, but we don't even know how many rooms is on this ship. It's so big, and we've been working in this ship for a year, and I still do not know how many rooms it is. So that scene is fun to me just because the design is so well done. You guys just made this beautiful ship, and everybody who goes in there like
hey, Bob.
freaks out.
Oh, there he is. Get in here, Bob.
Can Bob fit on with stool?
Yeah.
Oh, Bob's fine. Hey, Bob.
I don't need a stool.
I don't need a stool.
I don't need one. Wait, is the camera right there? No.
No, the camera's through my viewpoint. Why don't you shoot that laser at me? Don't worry.
Can you figure out the laser keybind? Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that sounds.
Whoa, my friends.
My friends.
My friends.
Bob actually killed us, but he killed our GPUs.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Bob.
Yeah, we need to get him a little, Alcoholics Anonymous name tag. Hi, my name is Bob.
Personally, my favorite scene was actually, I kind of actually really liked the plant room area. I like it, that part of the scene where you actually are trying to convince the first time that you meet Clark to tell it a joke and try to open up the door for you. Because it's I always see it's you either get somebody who's like really pumped up to like tell a joke for it, or there's somebody who's like so I like seeing. Do you guys happen to have a favorite scene that you guys enjoyed?
I like the
Nicole?
plant lab stuff, the Clark stuff, but honestly, I think that my favorite scenes will be yet to come because there's a lot more complexity that happens for my character as the part that you haven't seen yet. There's a lot more complexity in the character, and I'm really enjoying digging into that right now, and I think those are going to be my favorite ones. But for now, it's the plant one with Clark.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think Ken's probably the plant lab too, because I get to push drugs on people and.
Yeah, I get to push. Oh yeah, that's it.
I'm a terrible influence.
Yeah, it is an R-rated. Just so you know, this is an R-rated show. It's
Yeah, he gets to. If you guys don't know, they give them saclera, which is a type of drug on the planet, and if you eat it, be very careful.
Hardcore hallucinogenic.
Yeah, it's definitely has a filter effect that makes you see a bunch of stuff, lots of colors. But yeah,
I'm so fascinated by Frooks trying to feed water to Bob.
This is great. Keep him hydrated.
Don't mix water and electricity. Isn't that a bad idea?
Excellent. Thank you for that, Brox. We got
just
that
right up the snoot there.
Stay hydrated, you guys. Stay hydrated. Okay, so question number 18. Here we go. Any idea on when Alien Rescue will be available for public viewings?
Yeah. So, like I said in one of the earlier questions, we're aiming for March at this point. It's just a question of getting the sets built and getting the avatars done, getting the actors rehearsed, getting the logics program, getting the music done. We're all working on that every day. I mean, I work on this project literally 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, nonstop, and everybody else is working too. So our hope is March. That's the goal. But like any big ambitious project that is self-funded, we do have obstacles along the way, and sometimes we put a flag down and say, all right, we're going to try to be ready at this point, and sometimes we kind of blow past that, and there's just not that much we can do about it. So I'm gonna say March. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, okay. Look at.
Is he stealing your milk?
What are you doing?
It looks like the iBot got your mustard. That's not milk. That's mustard. What are you talking about? Have you ever seen a yellow? Have you seen a yellow box of milk before? A yellow box of
mustard. Okay. Oh, come
awesome.
On. Controller.
Hey, Nex, I don't know if you're gonna ask about the. Hey, Nexalon, if you're gonna ask about the iBots, I won't bring them up now. But at some point, I would love to tell the chat about who the iBots are and how they work.
Yeah, talk about the iBots. The iBots are pretty cool.
Okay, where are you, little iBot? Come on back.
Where'd you go, dude?
Where'd you go, little bot? Here we go.
All right.
So this is an iBot, and you can see it's a little tiny avatar. It's a little robotic avatar with an eye. When I first started doing Metamovies, I was really interested in the hero's experience. I wanted to put one person inside a movie, and that was the main goal. And for the first year or two, that's all we did. We didn't really have anybody else but just this one hero. And then, of course, I realized at some point, if I wanted to keep doing this and I wanted to try to sell tickets, I couldn't just make a whole performance with 5 actors and all this time and money and then just have one audience member per show. It's not a very efficient way to run a business. You wouldn't make a movie and only sell one movie ticket at a time, or you wouldn't make a play and only have one audience member. So I had to start thinking all right, well, how do I bring in more people without ruining the whole thing? So we came up with the idea of these different types of audience members. So an iBot is small, and we ask them not to talk. So this helps us make the hero the real star of the show. The hero's talking, and the actors are talking to the hero, but we want other people to enjoy the experience too. So we have 15 iBot tickets that we sell for each show, and they're multicolored versions of this iBot. So you come in, you buy a ticket, it's super cheap, and you get your iBot, and you've got multicolored iBots. So you know you're not all gray; everything's different colors. And these iBots fly around with us through the performance, and they're there with us, and they're taking in the scenes, and they're taking in all the comedy and the action and the drama. But they're slightly less interactive because they don't talk.
Well, they originally started out as just spectators, but as Jason's about to tell you, he realized that they needed more agency. They're the biggest part of our audience, basically. So we want them to enjoy the show too. So we started giving them more opportunities to actually engage with us and do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the iBot characters will come through and they will tell us like, oh, this is really fun. But, every once in a while, like Nicole playing Z will like talk to us, or Baxter will wave to an iBot and say, hey, man, come over here. And they love that stuff. And it finally dawned on me, and I don't know why it took me so freaking long to figure this out. But of course, the iBots want as much agency as the hero. We can't let 15 iBots talk because that would be just a noisy mess. But what we are doing with this new version of the Metamovie, with new version of Alien Rescue, is that we're finding all these new ways to give these little iBot characters more and more agency. So, for example, what we're doing right now is we're programming in some logics so that every iBot has a button they can push, and they can turn themselves red or they can turn themselves green. And so now we start to have this ability to have like a little bit of a silent conversation with our iBots. We can ask them like, hey man, is there something scary around that corner? Could you go like scout it out and come back and like flash your signals? Green is good and red is bad. So we're adding in all of these new layers so that even the silent little iBots are now more and more part of the story. And I'm having so much fun doing that. It's so fun to just think of new ways to involve the audience in the story and give them more and more agency.
Me myself, I really love that you guys thought of for that sort of idea too, because you like look at the iBots and they're really cute, but the fact that they can actually respond to you or that you can interact with them in that way, I think that's not just only going to make it seem better for the actors or even for the main character. It'll also be entirely better for the main person who's watching, because it keeps them fully engaged as to what's going on, and not just oh, I'm here to watch or look. Now I actually get to be a part of it and can even have my own influence of effect because I'm saying yes or I'm saying no. The bots could even lie if they really wanted to, right? They could do that too.
Yeah. And we're gonna build in some parts of the story that will require the iBots. We have some things that are going on that without the iBots, we don't get that part of the story. And I think that's going to be really fun to start seeing that these iBots are going to be way more than just spectators. They're going to be really, really important parts of the story. So we'll be rolling that out with this new version of Alien Rescue.
Freaking awesome. I can't wait for it. I'm so pumped up.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, so question number... number 19. Here we go. Which we do 21 questions for these interviews, you guys. So we're on 19 now. If you could change one thing about the project, what would you change?
Money. I would rob a bank.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. Is that I'm just a regular guy. I started this as just little tiny sketches, and whenever I got my paycheck from work, I just carve out a little bit of money and I'd put it towards a project, or I'd ask people to work for free, which I really don't like doing. Okay on some level, but at some point, you can't ask somebody to work for you for a year. Free. You just can't do that. So I did a Kickstarter a couple of years ago, and I raised $10,000 from that Kickstarter, and that was the thing that helped me do Alien Rescue properly, is that I actually there's about 65 Kickstarters who are supporting this project, $10 here, $50 there, and with that money, I was able to give the actors a little bit of money, give, some of you guys who are helping me build the models a little bit of money. Of course, it's not much. So that's my biggest obstacle, is that that like I constantly feel like I'm getting so much amazing work from all of these amazing collaborators, and they deserve 10 times what I can pay them. And it's a source of stress for me because I want really good work, so I want to be able to push everybody, but I can't pay them that much money. So that would be the one thing. If I could change anything, I would just be like, I don't know. I mean, I would buy more lottery tickets, I guess.
Well, don't do that because very rare.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. It's very hard to win the lottery, I've noticed.
Yeah, that way everyone else would have the bright idea to get that going.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but that was actually a very good answer on that.
Thanks.
Okay, so question number 20. Any people that you would care to give a shout out to that have helped out with the project? So basically, just in general, everyone you give a shout out to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, Nicole and Ken here, who've been with me for a very long time, and
Miranda and Craig, even though they can't be here.
Miranda and Craig. These four actors have been giving me just so much time and energy and creative juices for so long. And then I got to be honest, man. I mean, it's like there's a lot of people in this room who I am massively indebted to. I don't want to blow up your ego too much next, but I mean, that first time that you and I talked and I laid out the project, you committed like right there and right then. You're like, dude, I love this project. I'm going to help you and I'm going to bring my team on. Holy shit. I mean, honestly, you guys in the chat need to know that yeah, seriously, man. This project would not have existed. Alien Rescue would not have existed in the way. I mean, I would have made it with some other person, I guess. But dude, Nex and Aegis and Rue and Coffee was helping us out for a while, and Lewis Snow and Ryuvi and Frooks. I mean, the support that I've gotten from the Neosians, the community, the people who are. That's what I say. I don't know, but what do you guys say? That's my term for Neosians.
No, that's a good word.
But you guys on the model making and the programming side, I would say like all the community members here too, like Prime and Anvarex and Medra and just all the people who like talk
Rougaeu, who's in the chat and talking to us.
Yeah, totally. Rougaeu,
all the test VIPs. Hugely helpful.
Totally, man. Yeah, like. I mean, this is like a little army of people that are all kind of working on this thing. So, we've got people who like you guys have never met, like Maurizio, our composer who's in Germany, and our screenwriter Chris, who's out in LA, and we've got pieces of this project that don't even get that much recognition. There's a lot, man. If I haven't said your name and you're listening, man, just thank you because this is a big group project.
Awesome. Great shout outs. And final question, you guys. We've already got here to now basically an interview. And I want to say again, thank you guys so much for being here and taking this time out of your day for a Friday.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
You probably have stuff that you want to do as well. And, I'm sure, but I'm just so thankful that you guys can be here for our first interview that we ever done here at Neos. And hopefully this can be for more to come. And
wow, we're a first. I'm honored.
Yes, me too.
You guys are the first interview that we've
awesome,
done
man. You guys have to do more. This is great.
Oh yeah, I really do want to have this to be a possible monthly
blow
thing.
Up Nex's ego, impossible. I just saw that.
Impossible. That's so
awesome.
Me?
Impossible.
No. Stop it. You're too much. You're making me blush. You're making me blush. Okay. Question, question 21. How can our viewers find out more about the Metamovie project?
Oh, great.
Good way to wrap it up, right?
Thank you for that shout out.
Jason's email.
Oh, I lost my hand. Oh, there we go. So we have a website, the Metamovie, themetamovie.com. I think if you just Google Metamovie, we're out there enough that you'll see our website. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm JasonMo_ on Twitter. You can find us in the you can find us in the Discord here. Jason Mo_ so JASONMO and then an underscore at the end. That's my Twitter.
Awesome.
And the website's a great place to go. And come just friend me here in Neos. That's another great way to do it too.
Yep, Jason Mo and Neos, and perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. And just for at the end,
Thank
we
you,
did say that we'll answer just a few questions here for chat, and then you guys can be on your way. But again, thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone who's been watching with us right now to be engaged with this whole awesome project that's been going through. So if you guys have any questions inside of chat, just be sure to put a question mark before the end of the sentence if you have any questions here for Jason or the actors. Yes, and give some love too. Yeah, Twitch chat command them. Perfect opportunity to do that, you guys.
Thank you.
As well.
That's my first love. I never got love before. That's awesome.
But here we got a question. From Rougaeu. Why do you never let me drag you through my worlds? For Jason. That's a question for Jason.
I'm in the war room, man. I'm rehearsing all the time.
Did you hear what he said? He works 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, my dude. Didn't you just hear what he just said? That's exactly what he said.
I'm coming. I'm finding you, Rougaeu. I'm finding you, man. I'm finding you.
It is an awesome tour. It's long, but it is pretty cool. So definitely do it.
I love Rougaeu's vibes hangout place. That was awesome. I've been there once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, Nicole's been through it. Yeah, that's what Rougaeu said. Nicole's been through it.
I've been through it.
I haven't watched it on his streams.
She says it like that. I've been through it. Horrible time.
No, it was wonderful.
I didn't know you were watching Rougaeu's streams. That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm always on Twitch, man. You kidding? Hell, I'm streaming now.
So you're getting that extra camera perspective. Thank you, my dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So meta.
Do what I can.
But yeah, if there's any more questions in chat, if not, we'll be ending off. I'm just gonna have just about 2 more minutes to ask for any more questions. Did Angel say? Oh, so yeah, Angel has a question. Have multiple episodes that together make a whole movie, maybe? Question mark.
We've talked about that. We talked at some point about breaking Alien Rescue in. Oh, look, I got some coffee. Thank you. We talked about breaking Alien Rescue in half and doing 2. Ultimately, we decided that we really wanted to do one full thing. But the idea of doing an episodic is really interesting to me. If we could build some sets and some characters, and then have a story that was more like a 30-minute, like a TV show, but every week or 2 we added new stuff. Ooh, man.
Yeah. Do it in full seasons. Yeah, like it.
I would love
to keep us busy.
I would love to do that. Yep. I would love to do that.
Definitely. So another question from Rougaeu. How long is our rehearsal sessions? But boy, you need to get your.
We started off with 2 hours, and they've been going closer to 3 here lately.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, about once a week.
Around 3
2
hours.
and 3 hours, yeah.
All the technology stuff kind of, can slow things down. So a 3-hour rehearsal, maybe we get a solid 2 hours of actual work done.
Sure.
We're busy riding around corgis or doing loop-de-loops, and we get it's very easy to get distracted during rehearsal. Yeah, it's very easy to get distracted.
Yeah,
I took him to the laser tag thing the other day, and we were playing laser tag the other day for like an hour. It was like, oh, we should probably just get back to rehearsal now.
Yeah. So we got a question from Zaku Gaming. They say, is this going to be a weekly thing for Neos now? It's not probably going to be a weekly thing, but it will be something that we will hopefully try to maybe even do every single month and try to find somebody here that we can interview on for Neos. But coming up for next week, we're probably just going to be getting into hanging out and talking more about the implementation of possibly the desktop mode that Frox has been working on about. And yeah, basically we still have our normal streams that we usually do, but and obviously every single month at the end of the month we do a community showcase stream where we show out worlds and different cool items made on Sev Neos. So we have different streams for each day, but we won't do like an interview stream every single week, otherwise it would get very hot. But yeah, let me see for next question. Rougaeu says, are there ideas for multiple endings, or does that require too much behind the scenes?
No, Rougaeu, there's already multiple endings in place right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're on. It's essentially a choose your own adventure story when it comes down to it. So yeah, we've got to have those paths, and every little choice you make can influence the ending, which keeps it interesting for us actors.
Yeah,
Jason
has made does
really
influence the
nice
ending,
and
really.
nice and streamlined for us to keep track of all that crazy. But yeah, it's taken some doing.
Absolutely.
We're pretty sure that it's going to be very hard to have a repeat performance.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing about the
it's always going to be
project
different.
or Alien Rescue specifically, is that it's something different each time. That, you know, somebody could have just a completely different. So it's not even really like a movie. It's like really like you're going through an experience.
Yeah, it's definitely choose your own adventure-esque, so that, you know, depending on what you do as the hero, somebody could die, somebody could live. You could, you know, the ending could be like this, it could be like that. There's a lot of different weird things that can happen. So if you come through as a hero, what I would just tell you is, you know, take some chances. And you know, if you play it really like vanilla and just kind of go along with it, you're going to get like a kind of a standard experience. But if you try different things out or ask questions or make suggestions, or, you know, anything can happen, and you're going to be surprised that all of a sudden now the story is like going to turn left or turn right. So, and that's what we want. We want you guys to come in and really play with it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to answer these last 4 questions, you guys, and then I'm going to let these guys vamos. And thank you again so much, you guys. So last 4 questions that we're going to be answering is from Dusty, Angel, Frey, and Wraith. So Dusty says, is there going to be a public version of the Metamovie as a stream for Neosians?
We have streamed a few of them. In fact, Jason has a really nicely edited, put together one, if I recall correctly, with multiple camera angles and everything. Maybe you can find the link for them for that, and they can watch the VOD.
Yeah,
good stuff. It's already out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a couple of different things. We've got we've got a recorded version of it that is just kind of sitting someplace. It's not public right now, but I can put it out there. But what we're planning on doing is once we get up and running in March or April, and we get kind of our rhythm going. Another initiative that I'm working on is a sophisticated multicam streaming system inside Neos. So right now, to do multicam like what Nex is doing, he's using anchor points and he's using the streamer camera, and he's kind of switching, you know, between points. I'm envisioning something a little bit more robust.
Rougaeu said that he can bring the link in as well for it.
Yes. And so once we get a real multicam system, what we want to do is start live streaming our performances. So if we have a performance on Saturday afternoon, you can come in and buy a really inexpensive ticket to be an iBot or a hero and experience it in VR. But if you don't have VR, or if you don't want to do it in VR, if you just want to sit and watch a stream, the plan is to have a really nice multicam stream. So you're not just looking at somebody's POV, you're not just looking at one camera anchored behind somebody, but you're literally seeing it like a real movie or a real TV show, so that every scene, just like you're seeing now in this interview, you have all these different camera angles. Those will all be streamed out so that you can watch it as a 2D stream on Twitch. And I'm hoping actually to get Nex to help me figure out interactivity for the Twitch stream. So just like you can give me a cup of coffee here and have fun with those interactive chat commands, what I see for the Metamovie is the opportunity for 2D Twitch streamers, watch viewers, to be able to use keyboard commands to make different things happen inside our performance. So we'll have kind of the VR performance running and the 2D multicam interactive performance running at the same time. And that'll just give us the ability to kind of reach more audiences, and I'm really excited to learn about. Idea. Yeah, I mean, you guys are
also
kind of showing.
Prime also said that I can help with that if you need anything. So there you go.
Oh, sweet! Yes, awesome.
Yeah, and Rougaeu wants to know if it's okay for him to drop the link. He's got it ready.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Do it to it.
Drop the link. That's fine.
Also, Angel says, "Why are you all freaking amazing? You're amazing too, Angel." I think we're so amazing because all these people here are passionate about what they do, and that's a key core thing. You know, if you care about what you're doing and if you're enjoying what you're doing, then how can you not be amazing? You know. And then, how is everyone? And is everyone getting enough sleep? I hope that we're getting enough sleep. Are you guys getting enough sleep?
I do a pretty good job, actually. I love sleeping. I get so excited about going to sleep, man. I get
I suffer from inertia. If I'm up and going, I don't want to stop, and if I'm stopped, I don't want to get moving.
Cool. And then last question for Wraith. The next one is from Rougaeu to add us, so kind of we can answer that on our own after. But it says from Delirious Jack says Alien Heist plus Inverse Nebula RP crossover when? I'm sure that's kind of
I love it. I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I get it and I love it. Yes. Totally. I love it. I love that.
It's a pretty funny one.
That's so cool.
So let's we can hop up out of our seats, you guys. Get
All right.
Yeah, there we go. Stretch.
Stretch it out.
Thank you so much, dude. Hugs for you.
Oh, thank you, man. Seriously, this was so much fun.
Yeah, and let's celebrate now our first ever, stream went successfully. We got the champagne here. Get your glasses, everyone.
All right.
Go
find mine again.
This is for you, chat, as well. Here, well.
How do I put up my
do things the hard way, of course.
Oh, there we go.
My coat, my God, man, this is suede.
Everyone, give lots of love here for everyone here for the cast for Subjectivity, Crow, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you here for being on stream here. Did you get your cup?
Here, you can put it in my
wrong cup, but yeah. Here, I'll give you this one.
I was wondering where that steam was coming from. I thought they gave you coffee.
Thank you.
I got soup.
Thank you.
Tip the bottle, not yourself. There you go.
Thank you.
So cool.
No problem.
It's so awesome. Oh, somebody dropped a glass?
There we go.
Put it down some. There we go. Much appreciated.
Cheers, you guys.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
Cheers.
We're out of champagne. Sorry. You snooze, you lose.
Can you pour from one to the other?
You snooze, you lose.
Whatever.
No.
Yeah, you can toss the glasses.
All right, next. That was awesome, man.
Thank you so much, you guys.
I'll take some water. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
there it does
guys.
work. Cool. Okay.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll have I'm sure we'll probably even talk with Theo, have some like fun clips of like different parts of it, and maybe even do like an edited version of the whole thing, and it'll be up on YouTube as well. So thank you guys.
Well, this is a great idea. I love the idea. I can't wait to see who you interview next. I will be there for that stream. So, good idea here, and nice to be here. So thanks, everybody.
Peace to you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Love to chat for everyone.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll see you two in the morning.
Yep. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Right, have fun, guys. Thanks so much.
No problem. And let me actually answer Rougaeu's question for you, my dudes. He said, do you have a new favorite toy that ups the interactivity in the Metamovie? An example that I saw Jax help out with a new camera type. So that new camera has kind of like a blur filter, I guess is be for taking pictures. But if there was like a new interactive toy, I wouldn't really say as for something that wouldn't be something that you probably wouldn't already know, unless there was something that Aegis has. I guess that's one of Aegis's favorite.
Well, if only we'd have gotten, them sooner, we could ride those corgis into battle or something. That'd be great.
Those corgis are awesome.
By the way,
they are pretty cool.
I mean, this one though.
Oh,
have fun, guys.
Yeah, peace to you, dude.
Oh, that's right, the new guns. Yeah. See you later, Nicole.
Yes, this one does go.
See you later. I'm gonna just find my way. There we go.
Here, can I actually try it out?
Which one?
Why not both? Let me see. Yep, this is my favorite one right here. The one on the left. This one's okay. Cool. It mostly goes burr though.
Guns go burr.
Yeah. Ricky says, all right, let me get into Neos, and thanks for the stream. Absolutely. This stream was so much fun, you guys. Thanks again to everyone that showed up and watched kind of all the way through. This was such an amazing stream, and, so much more to come for the Metamovie project and for Alien Rescue and for Neos, too. We have so much more planned out for next week, you guys, where we'll be talking out and hanging out with you guys. Also, you said that you were doing a little bit of some stuff with the vehicle system. Do you want to show that before we end off the stream?
I'm loading in the world at the moment, but I will be right back.
Yeah. So Aegis will be right back. He also definitely check out, there's a brand new world that Aegis made out, a whole entire racetrack here inside of Neos, which looks really, really awesome.
I think we should go outside for Aegis to return.
Go outside? Sure.
If he's using a vehicle,
we'll take chat with us. Let's go, chat.
Let's go.
I love you,
chat.
Let's go, chat. I love you so much. Short stream today? Oh, we usually do the stream about 2 hours, and it's been an hour and 40 minutes, so it's a normal time stream. I'd say it's pretty normal.
Yeah, there's been There has been quite a few people working on the anti-gravity tracks now and anti-gravity racers. That's becoming quite a thing in Neos now. I think Skywind is actually hosting one right now that people can race around on as well.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, I know Aegis has been helping with.
Yep, he'll be with us. Russ says, I can imagine in the far, far future when AIs can emulate people, these kinds of tailored movie experiences will become common. Honestly, that'll be very interesting to see where AI and where that kind of interaction would be, but I kind of do like having the live actors too, because then you feel like there's a real entity. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like somewhat like an NPC, unless it's like really, really amazing AI. Has like a IQ of like 1,000 or something crazy. Yeah, Keen. It was nice to have you here. And yes, rock on. Here, I'm actually wearing a character where I can do that with my... normally I don't have 5 fingers. Rock on.
No.
And I love you guys too. There you go. I love you, sign.
You know, I will give chat
I return.
for one thing.
Welcome back, Aegis. We're outside right here.
Very well behaved chat today.
What? What a mess.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, you want me to wear my normal Volley character, right, Angel? Of course. So let's see what you got, Aegis.
So, lately, from working with Lucas, Rue, and Maddie K, we've been working on updating
as well.
Sure.
Have a good look.
The feature?
The noise thing.
Oh yeah, the denoise.
Sure.
What's the back already? Well, one thing that's fun like I did is like the... Now we have like an integrated like the R noise library.
And I invited Rue.
It's supposed to be... how do I make it go forward?
Triggers.
Whoa.
Oh no. Bonk.
Woo! This thing goes fast.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. But I was gonna explain how it works, and then he just goes off and drives off with it.
I can still hear you. You do realize I can still hear you, right?
I know.
Okay, let me. I'm guessing I can try on this track, right?
I'm just trying to make it large enough for you, so you don't veer off the sides as much. Now, no. Yeah,
okay,
go ahead, try.
Whoa. Let me get a third person.
Do you want to try the new one, Fruix?
Here, let me actually...
I highly recommend the new one, Fruix. Or just... Okay.
Yep, there he goes. Okay, my turn. Oh, I'm not picking up that much speed.
You can make it next. Actually, I like the headlights that I put on there.
That looks really cool.
Oh, he's stopped.
Woo! Well, smooth POV, let's go.
You can... Your AM other users with
Whoa.
it.
Very nice.
You gotta try the new system.
Wow, look at them legs.
Oh, it's...
Them legs.
Honestly, 100 times better.
This one has a lot more inertia to it.
That did not work.
Whoa.
So brand new control features. It actually tells the speed you're going at.
Yeah,
it has
we'll go up on the loop
proper
just one more
tilting
time.
like a bike does.
No, I'm not
I'll let you boy get some love from that.
Shoot.
It seems that someone knows.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
So I need to run into something.
Yeah. Definitely need to talk about that new feature. Well.
Oh, what
I gotta
new
make
feature?
this track.
Oh, the
Did
new
you want to
feature
talk about the new feature
aim.
that... What's the new feature that you brought in, Frox? We'll end the stream off with talking about that.
The noise. But it's like a new library like that's now integrated with Neos. It's called like R Noise. And essentially what it is like a noise suppression library that's using recurrent neural networks. It's really, really good at like filtering out noise like from like your microphone audio, so like your voice comes out clearly. It's like on by default for everyone, so that should like just increase.
Yeah, demonstrate this out. So on default now we have this on, and it's really going to make the microphone sound a lot better here inside of Neos. Try to turn off the filter now.
Yep. So now it's off, and you can probably hear like some noise like coming from my microphone, like background noise, like fans going like in the computer and so on.
And this is how it would normally sound like without the filter, and now this is with the filter on.
And this is with the filter. It's really, really good, like it's gonna filter even a lot of noise. Let me actually switch to another microphone. So this is the microphone.
Thank you, Godly, for the 5 gifted subs.
And this is the microphone, so I'm not sure how this one sounds.
Yeah, so that one sounds awful. Let's see how it sounds with the filter on.
It's very like sensitive, so like it gets a lot of like environment noise and so on. Same microphone, I'm just gonna turn the filtering, and now it's being filtered, and all the like environment noise should be like gone. Even though like this microphone is like on my desk and I'm a little bit further away from it, should like the voice should come out very clearly. So
now we won't have to have those people with those wind microphones here. We actually we had a meme here inside of here
yes.
for this. Let me spawn out that meme. Yeah.
The meme shall be history.
Yeah, this meme will be old news. You won't have to tell people inside Neos, hey, your microphone, it sounds like an airplane. Hello, people.
It's even like when people are blowing onto their own microphones. If I blow onto the microphone after a while, it cuts out.
It filters out like also like things like breathing into the microphone and so on. So it just generally should like make your voice sound a lot cleaner. Even like if you have like a high quality microphone, if you have a low quality microphone, it should just like help improve like the standard like voice quality. It also like saves other things like ban and vid, makes people like easier to understand and such.
What about RTX voice? How does it compare to that?
It's pretty like good like compared to that. Like one of the benefit about this library is like RTX voice, I would say, is even more effective, but like it does require RTX card and you need to like set it up. But this library runs purely on CPU, so like you don't need any RTX card. So like whatever card you have, like this library work, it's really fast. So it runs even like on mobile devices. So let's say like if you're on Neos on Quest, it'll work with it as well. Once we have like Neos on mobile phones, it'll work on that as well. So
yep. So
you can, if you want, you can like disable it and use RTX voice if you prefer it as well. But this one is just there like to ensure that everybody can has like that voice quality standard, has the like noise filtering, so people don't have to think about it, enable it or set it up.
1 a.m. Nick, thank you so much for the follow too. Elsa Sabri, thank you for the follow as well. But yeah, really awesome update, Frox. We're going to be ending off the stream right here, you guys. If you haven't already, please... the camera's right here if you want to get inside the shot. There you go. Yeah, thank you for joining us again for this awesome interview stream that we did today. If you missed out any of it and you weren't able to catch it live, we are going to upload it onto YouTube. And as well, you can check it out here on the channel, and it'll still be up here on Twitch. And if you haven't already, please give us a follow here on the Twitch channel as well if you haven't already, because it does help us out right when we get to 3,000 followers. We're going to be having a fun event, just like how we're going to give away merch, give away free prizes and such of Neo stuff. And also, please join our Discord, discord.gg/neosvr if you want to have any more additional information or just need help from the community, because we are here to help you guys. And Neos is completely free to install on Steam. Just download it, Neos VR, and if you can even still use it while on desktop, which, you know, desktop support is coming relatively soon and short, and I can't wait when that gets fully implemented as well. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching here on your stream, and say au revoir.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Hearts. Lucas is like, "Bah, I just joined to say goodbye." Yeah, sorry. I kind of. That's usually what happens, right? There's always that one person that joins in at the end of the stream, and they're like, "Oh, shoot." But don't worry, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on YouTube, you guys. Oh, Animals broadcast, so that's probably gonna be too loud for you guys. Sorry about that. Love you all. Peace.
How to make anti-gravity racers.
I'm gonna put my hand right there, and it's gonna cover up the screen. Hopefully, there we go. Goodbye, you guys. I love you. I love all of you. I love you. I love you all so much. Really, I do. Oh, don't sue me. Oh.